immediately met with international criticism, drawing comments and sanctions from US President George H.W. Bush and UK Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. Hours after the invasion, the United Nations met in an emergency session, calling for Iraq's immediate withdrawal from Kuwait and imposing a worldwide ban on trade with Iraq. Fact number 3. Standing opposed to Saddam Hussein was the Allied coalition, consisting of 39 countries and 670,000 troops, over 60% of them from the US. Over 60% from them from the US. Operation Desert Storm began in January 1991, marking the beginning of international involvement. Fact number 4. The Allied coalition was made up of 39 countries. Now we'll mention the countries. 1. Afghanistan, Argentina, Australia, Bahrain, Bangladesh, Belgium, yay, I'm from Belgium, Canada, Czechoslovakia, Denmark, Egypt, France, Germany, Greece, Honduras, Hungary, Italy, Kuwait, Morocco, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Niger, Norway, Oman, Pakistan, Poland, Portugal, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Singapore, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, Syria, Turkey, the United Arab Emirates, the United Kingdom, and of course, the United States. Fact number 5. Much of the Allied coalition concern centered on their fear that Iraq might invade Saudi Arabia in an attempt to take control of their oil reserves. Had Hussein garnered control of these fields, he would have controlled the majority of the world's oil supply. And that would have been a very bad thing, obviously, because the entire Western economy depends on oil, I guess. Yeah, at least the logistics part. Fact number 6. The US Department of Defense estimated that the Gulf War costs more than $61 billion. The United States suffered 383 fatalities, while more than 10,000 Iraqis lost their lives in fighting. Operation Desert Storm included the largest armored assault since World War II, as well as a battlefield that was the most well prepared in the history of all warfare. That's an interesting fact. Fact number 6. Estimates of the number of civilians killed during the conflict vary widely. During the war, Iraq downplayed this figure to maintain morale and dismissed the effectiveness of the Allied coalition's offensives. It is now generally agreed that roughly 3,000 Iraqi civilians lost their lives as a result of the war. Fact number 8. Although a ceasefire was declared by President Bush on February 28, 1991, the economic sanctions imposed by the UN at the time of the invasion remained in place. A study released in 1995 indicated that as many as 576,000 children may have died since the end of the war, with malnutrition running high and poised to increase. Yeah. Moving on to fact number 9. Just weeks after the ceasefire in March 1991, uprisings against the Iraqi government erupted among Shia rebels in the south and northern Kurdish regions. The conflict was marked by extreme violence and mass executions of civilians, with victims burned alive, tortured, raped, and murdered, often buried in mass graves. Thousands more were disappeared after Saddam Hussein's forces retook control of the country. Moving on to fact number 10. By April 1991, the uprisings had been suppressed and Saddam Hussein remained in control of Iraq. At this time, almost 1 million refugees had spilled across the border into Iran, and 500,000 had fled north to Turkey. The UNHCR mounted a massive airlift of humanitarian aids and supplies to Iran, but the need far exceeded provisions. In September, the organization launched a 35 million initiative to supply roofs for the homes of 350,000 displaced Iraqis. Fact number 11. It is estimated that as many as 5 million people from 30 different countries were displaced as a result of the Gulf War. Countries throughout the world, as of June 1991, had donated an estimate of $1.35 billion in aid to support the refugees of one of the largest migrations in human history. Fact number 12. Following here is a complete timeline of pivotal events of the Gulf War. We will begin with August 2, 1990. Iraq invades Kuwait. Reportedly, Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein decided to invade a small oil-rich nation in order to pay off debts incurring during Iraq's 8-year war with Iran. August 2, 1990, the United Nations Security Council passes a resolution denouncing Iraq's invasion of Kuwait. August 6, 1990, the UNSC imposes trade and financial sanctions on Iraq. August 7, 1990, US President George H.W. Bush orders the start of Operation Desert Shield. August 8, 1990, Iraq announces its formal annexation of Kuwait. The following day, the UNSC unanimously adopts Resolution 662, which declares the annexation illegal and null and void. November 29, 1990, the UNSC authorizes use of force after January 15, 1991. January 16, 17, 1991, the air campaign of Operation Desert Storm begins. February 23-24, 1991, the Allied ground assault begins. February 27, 1991, Baghdad radio announces that Iraq will comply with UN resolutions. February 27, 1991, Kuwait is liberated. February 28, 1991, coalition attacks against Iraq end. March 14, 1991, Kuwait's emir returns home after more than 7 months in exile. April 6, 1991, Iraq accepts the term of a ceasefire agreement. April 11, 1991, the ceasefire formally takes effect. And that's the whole course of the first Gulf War. I would like to end this video with a quote from Emily Marshall that I found on the internet, as well as many other facts. Although brief, the Persian Gulf War in 1991 impacted the lives of millions throughout the region and cost billions in aid. The conflict went on to set the stage for Middle Eastern relations in the new millennium, acting as a precursor to the war in Iraq that began in 2003. The war in Iraq is called the Second Gulf War, but in 2003, maybe I will do a video about that as well, because that is, I will do a video, most definitely a video about that as well, because it's super interesting. I remember that I was a little kid, and I was watching the news at my neighbor's house, and I saw the World Trade Centers burning, And I remember that my older brother, he said that World War Three had just begun. And yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember like being all confused and was like, oh, what? But I think I was like, maybe I was 10 years old, I think. A little bit younger, 9 years old, I think, yeah. So, yeah, I will definitely do another video about the Second Gulf War. And maybe I can also do like a video about terrorism or something. I'm just thinking out loud here. Let me know what you think of these ideas in the comments section. If you would like a video about the Gulf War, the Second Gulf War, or terrorism, yeah, just let me know in the comments. Those were all my facts for today, and I hope I can see you in the next video. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. I will get back to watching a movie with my girlfriend right now, so guess I'll see you guys later. Cheers.